Welcome to the EK Technology Day 22. In the hardware manufacturing industry, the best way to stay ahead of the curve is to be the very one who bends it. And that's precisely what EK is doing in the field of water cooling. We have the privilege to live in extremely exciting and inspiring times for computer technologies where huge breakthroughs occur almost daily. Blink and you'll miss a new product or even entirely new approach to how computer hardware is made. This is why here at EK we never blink, at least when it comes to following the latest industry standards. In fact, we are the ones who set them, mainly within the domain of liquid cooling. We are all about performance, reliability and focus. Our goal is to bring the production costs of liquid cooling much closer to those of conventional air cooling systems, but without sacrificing the performance and reliability standards we have set over the years. Our R&D department is constantly exploring, improving their know-how and coming up with new approaches that can help our partners achieve their goals. In a collaboration setting, we like to be involved right from the get-go. Only then we can reach the holy trinity of cost reduction, optimal performance and visually stunning design. Our focus also lies in personalization. For every project we do with one of our partners, we have an individual, personal approach tailored strictly to the needs of their customers. Aside from the numerous innovations you're about to see, we also decided to become independent in terms of entire supply chains. From development and knowledge to support and delivery, our products are now available on multiple continents, making sure our customers are not left with burning holes in their pockets and empty slots in their sockets. As for the proof of quality and set innovation, we could boast about numerous awards and prizes our company has won so far, but we don't need to do that. Instead, let's see what the exciting world of liquid cooling has been up to.
Currently, one of the most talked about topics is how to reduce production costs and bring them closer to air cooling. One recent example of using technologies for more industrial purposes is the case of the UltraBlock. The goal was to cover as much of the motherboard as possible with the challenge of having very limited space between the upper CPU part and the lower M.2 and the chipset part. We rummaged around our technology approaches bin to see how we could bridge the gap with a cross-section sufficient enough for the optimal cooling flow. Making this happen by using a single piece of copper or standard milling was not possible. So the following question was asked: why don't we simply use the brazing process to join the top and the bottom water block using copper tubes? It ticks all of the boxes, fits into the space, creates a permanent strong sealed bond, provides the largest possible cross-section for the flow, and we already have a proof of concept. So, no no's. Sounds like an easy win, right? Well, wrong. As always, the devil is in the details. And the details that gave us real headaches was using an industrial solution process for a high-end product that needs to look and feel premium. Although we thought we had all the building blocks to piece things together, we were missing one crucial component: how large surfaces of copper would react to nickel plating while having a brazed joint in the mix. The sample batches went through without any major issues, but when the large-scale production started, problems began popping up one after another. Ultimately, we solved all the issues, reached the desired aesthetics, and delivered the required quantities. But not without delays, which, understandably, didn't make our customer too happy. The moral here is, every time new technologies are introduced, there is an inherent risk of failure. But without pushing the envelope, there wouldn't be any progress to be made.
Now, when you know what tray-brazing liquid cooling technologies we are working on, we should address how we work with our strategic partners to help them get their products they desire and to do so in cost-optimized ways. EK enables its partners to develop the best possible products, especially if we are there from the beginning. With knowledge and experience in cooling system development and manufacturing, we add value to the customer when we are included from the start. The hard truth is that CPUs, GPUs and motherboards are only as efficient as their cooling system. There is no other way around it. And to make the product perform the way customer deserves and expects, as well as to make it cost efficient and designed for manufacturing, it is critical for us to participate from the earliest possible stage. This way, we are able to propose and guide the board design process so the cooling system can fit perfectly. Every final off-the-shelf solution that you develop and offer it to an enterprise customer involves some type of compromise. The customer will almost always want something different. So even though we have off-the-shelf solutions available, our aim and focus are to be a development partner with our customers. We want to tailor the product to meet the customer needs and requirements perfectly. This is only possible when we develop product together in a close collaboration type of setting.
The third crucial driving force after performance and reliability is design, an integral part in the development of our technologies and solutions, evident from the evolution of our products over the last 15 years. Water blocks have transformed from pragmatic and straightforward 2.5D shapes to perfectly fitted, clean assemblies with a wide range of features and materials. Packaging all of those requirements into a minimalistic design is a real challenge, especially when pursuing excellence in every detail. In the case of our latest CPU block release, Velocity 2, we wanted to achieve a completely smooth top with no visible screws or mounting mechanism. At first, the necessary solution sounds simple: attach it from behind the motherboard. However, when factoring in socket specifications and allowable clearances, things became rather complex. Achieving consistent mounting pressure for the CPU block means that it's necessary to use coil springs. If the pressure was too low, the thermal paste would not spread and perform as it should. But if the pressure was too high, the product would not meet the required socket specifications. Furthermore, on the secondary side of the motherboard PCB, there is a height restriction, preventing any significant protrusions. To package the coil springs, it was apparent that they had to be on the primary side. A thumb nut on the back side could then pull on the screw to tension the spring. To make this practical to install in situations where only one side can be seen at once, the detensioning screws are held under load and keyed to prevent rotation. This uniquely allows them to reach the load length of the spring with very little thread engagement. Such short engagement ensures that the block is mounted evenly and simple flanges prevent over-tightening, alleviating common user errors and any rotating parts which might damage the PCB. All these improvements together led to a mounting design which retains and improves upon all expected functionality. It can be implemented across multiple socket specifications with identical parts and crucially stays aesthetically true to the concept. The most successful designs elegantly relate aesthetics, performance, and reliability, elevating all three simultaneously. Often, the simplest solutions are the ones which unite these three pillars. For example, in our new Vector 2 GPU block cooling engine, an element that has continuous focus from a performance perspective, but on this occasion we managed to leverage an improvement from an aesthetic decision. The coolant itself is the most distinctive visual element in a system that instantly communicates something special and powerful lies inside. Second to that element are the cooling fins, so it was only natural to eliminate the stainless steel jet plate which obstructs them both from view. The jet plate is an integral part of the cooling engine, increasing the flow velocity through the fins and providing some obstruction to crudely distribute the flow, so it could not be removed entirely. We decided to combine it with a plexi insert that was previously a very simple 2.5D shape. Since this made it necessary to machine the part, we could deploy a more complex geometry and taper the inlet cavity to better distribute the flow across the fins. The result, a simple visual material change, eliminated one part, improved hydraulic performance, and improved thermal performance by 1.6 degrees.
We hope we managed to bring the magical world of water cooling a little bit closer to you. As the evolution of computer systems moves at record paces, it is important to stay ahead of the proverbial curve we mentioned before. And the safest way to do so in the water cooling industry is to stay in the custom loop with us. At EK, we enjoy elevating computers to new levels of performance, stability, and visual design. But we don't like to do it alone. Each endeavor is much more fun when shared with your friends and partners. so be sure to subscribe through our Technology Day page or contact us for a potential partnership collaboration. Stay cool! Welcome and thank you for joining IKEA Expo Computex 2022. We are proud to be amongst the vital parts of the exciting and dynamic world of cutting-edge computers and PC modding. Today we delve deep into some of our game-changing PC builds to explore the components that makes them stand out in the current market, especially in terms of performance, design and innovative technologies. We create to inspire, you build to amaze. So without further ado, allow me to introduce your guide for this expo, Anna.
Thank you, Eddie. Hi, I'm Anna and I'm here to show you what the future of personal computers looks like. The best and most exciting way to see how the computer hardware landscape is evolving is to see what some of the world's best builds pack inside. These astonishing builds are envisioned and made by EK's lead R&D designer, Joe, and our senior product marketing manager, Attila. To spice things up even more, we also have two prominent guest modders, mods by Ben and Stuart Tonks from GGF. We'll be taking a closer look at their unique creations that blur the line between computers and art. To make PC building more intuitive and fun for everyone, not just seasoned modders, we added a new dimension to our liquid cooling products. EK Matrix 7 manages the product's height and width, as well as port spacing by increments of 7 millimeters. Through meticulous product planning, a single case and a single distribution plate can support several different setups and still provide perfectly aligned parallel tubes. This standard allows users to effortlessly swap out between reference and AIB cards, vertical setups, and active backplates, all without bending any new tubes. The same goes for upgrading from a standard CPU water block to a monoblock. Matrix 7 also allows you to swap between radiators of different thicknesses, while the only thing that needs to be changed or added is the extender fittings. This standard simplifies the building process for anyone looking to start their first custom loop. But enough chit-chat, let's see how Matrix 7 works and then let builds speak for themselves. The front panel integrates the distribution plate that channels the coolant to all liquid cooling loop components. The waterway, as some call it, is labeled as a second-generation reflection distro, meaning it's a Matrix 7 foundation product along with the entire case. This means that the ports of every installed product will perfectly align with the connection ports on the distribution plate. By all products, we mean the GPU water block as well. The custom-engineered heavy-duty vertical GPU holder is also positioned so that the ports perfectly align with the distribution plate. If you thought this is the only trick this case has up its sleeves, you'd be mistaken. The rear grille is also the radiator mount and can accommodate up to 3 P-Series 360mm radiators. Thanks to the newly released quantum surface radiators and their multi-port design, they attach to the distro plate in a very specific way. By using special push-in fittings, they simply slide into the ports on the acrylic distribution plate. Moving on to the next build. Breathe in, breathe out, relax. Your mind will answer most questions if you learn to relax and wait for the answer. Your home PC doesn't have to induce excitement and adrenaline rush, as this typically related to late-night gaming sessions. We all like to make our living room as nice and good-looking as possible, so why not make your PC blend into your environment? We all come to a point in life when we start to feel a little bit more grown-up. But grown-up doesn't have to mean boring. While only 50 of these cases were made, this one is even more special thanks to its custom-made walnut front panel that reveals the rest of the theme. I invite you to take a look at this fusion of nature and technology. That's right, the signature Lignum products are the main focal point of this build. They are elegant and unique, providing this PC with a more mature look. Bringing wood and water inside a computer creates a multi-layered relationship between nature and the modern environment. But let's get nerdy for a minute here. Cooled by this Lignum Edition CPU water block is another limited edition product, the Intel Core i7-8086K. It strikes your nostalgia bone and tickles your overclocking fancy simultaneously, since this is indeed Intel's first CPU that can reach 5 GHz out of the box without manual overclocking. Not the most modern CPU on the market, but it has character, and it packs more than enough punch for a living room PC. Of course, putting a little de-lidding and liquid metal in the mix will definitely spice things up and make this build more exciting. The next stop is the motherboard, the Asus ROG Strix Z390i, again, modified a bit to match the whole build. The stock heatsink is stripped off the gaming-inspired decals and got completely blacked out. The annoying buzzing of stock fans in your favorite relaxing area is not something you would want, which is precisely what all of the liquid cooling is here for. Usually, the main suspect for the crime of noise is the stock GPU cooler. To remedy this, the installed NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080 Beast got its own Lignum Edition walnut water block. It is based on the second generation of quantum GPU water blocks, allowing the card to run at full blast while remaining whisper quiet. The heart of the cooling action is the newly released EK Quantum Surface 360 multiport radiator in combination with the highly anticipated phase fans. Connecting the dots are EK Quantum Torque Series fittings, extenders, and offset fittings that make sure all the tube runs are straight. Talking about tubes, there's one more thing for which you need to keep your eyes peeled. I invite you to press the like button so the YouTube algorithm learns that you like what you've seen. And don't be shy to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss similarly inspiring content and new product releases from EK. Like these slick brass matte black tubes, for example. Since we have another 3 exciting builds to cover, let's quickly move along to the next one. We have a special treat for all the modding fans out there. Creating amazing custom builds requires refined craftsmanship, a unique vision, and a mad set of skills. We have the honor of presenting 2 unique and exciting builds from the 2 special guests. They are both perfect examples of how building one-of-a-kind computers can turn PCs in true art. Stuart is an experienced, expert-level modder who is one of the trailblazers of the modern universe.
Set me free or give me death, yeah. Living good, I've been blessed, yeah. Shout out all my enemies, all the best. You can set me free or give me death, man, I'm on my way, yeah. Y'all can find out, you on timeout. You been dealing with the devil, where you sign at? Yeah, oh Lord, you getting financed, you on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah. I'm on my way, yeah, and I can do this all day, man, I'm on my way, said I'm on my way.
Striking a deal with the devil might not be all that bad, especially if it's a liquid devil. The latest GPU release from AMD happened very recently, meaning the Radeon RX 6950 XT became the most powerful gaming GPU from the Red team. PowerColor did not sit around during this time, as they have also launched the 6950 XT Liquid Devil, a GPU that is the fruit of their collaboration with EK. Liquid Devil brings astonishing performance with 0 noise emissions at the lowest temperatures, all thanks to the pre-installed, specifically designed, full-cover EK water block. To maximize the potential of PowerColor Liquid Devil, only the best 6950 XT GPU chips have been selected, making sure all Liquid Devil cards can hit the highest performance points. Now that we've discussed this build's main character, we can move on to the motherboard and CPU. The Asus ROG Crosshair 8 Extreme and the 16-core AMD Ryzen 5950X are cooled by the EK Quantum Momentum 2 monoblock. This is a 2nd generation Momentum monoblock, and all 2nd gen monoblocks are EK Matrix 7 foundation elements. To preserve the overall aesthetics of the motherboard, this particular monoblock comes with its own CNC machined aluminum cover for the I/O. This means that cooling is provided to the voltage regulation module, the Ryzen 5000 series CPU, as well as the LAN controller chip via the add-on heatsink linked to the monoblock. The host for all this power is the Antec Cannon, an open-frame liquid cooling orientated monster case. This full tower supports up to 3 360mm radiators, which is more than enough to keep the devil nice and chill. 3 44mm thick P-Series EK Quantum Surface multiport radiators are installed to fully exploit the capacities of this case. The multiport function was more than helpful for the radiators mounted on both ends of the case. Installing fittings on the end of the radiator allowed the tubes to rise above the internal structure of the case, creating a clean end-to-end connection. To keep the total height below the external dimensions of the case itself, this section of the build also utilizes torque micro-rotary angled fittings. The third Surface P360 multiport radiator is placed at the back, and it kept its standard front-placed port layout. Below sits the Kinetic FLT 360 combo unit with a custom printed Liquid Devil logo. Okay, we must admit that it's very naughty of us to make an appearance of the EK Quantum Phase fans when they're not quite ready just yet. But we appreciate the rate of interest. The crème de la crème of this build is the automotive-style mesh-braided tubes used for the main connections. If this build didn't leave you speechless, let's see if the next one will. The other mod is another work of art, courtesy of Mods by Ben. Ben's long-term dream is to get this product into the hands of those who really appreciate the growing art form of designing unique computers. So he did. Ben merged his love for photography and design to create some genuinely mind-blowing pieces. Infinity, a distance so great that the two rays of light from a single point source aimed at that distance may be regarded as parallel. Behold this small form factor gaming and creativity powerhouse. It is based on the latest hardware available on the market, and it is all liquid-cooled to maximize its performance. Despite its small size, it still packs a full-sized Aorus GeForce RTX 3080 graphics card, accompanied by the recently released EK Quantum Vector 2 Extreme GPU water blocks. The third-generation Vector GPU water blocks have received quite a few aesthetical and functional upgrades. Perhaps the most important one is regarding the stainless steel jet plate, which is now replaced by a more complex 3D machined acrylic with a tapered inlet cavity, allowing for better flow distribution. This technological change brought the intended visual effect and improved hydraulic and thermal performance by 1.6 degrees Celsius. The next party piece is the latest generation of Intel Core CPUs, the i7-12700K, with a maximum boost frequency of 5 GHz. That's right, you're getting 5 GHz out of the box. Thanks to the full nickel magnitude water block tailored for socket LGA 1700 CPUs, we're sure that those boost clocks will often be reached. But it all would not work if we didn't have all the right pieces to connect them. EK Quantum Torque micro rotary adapter fittings allow you to make simple 90-degree turns in the smallest possible footprint and installation height. With an overall installed height of just 21 millimeters, Torque micro rotaries can squeeze into the most secluded places where it would be otherwise impossible to make a bend. The accompanying fittings are again from the Micro series, the EK Quantum Torque Micro HDC 12. The outer diameter of the fitting is also significantly smaller than its bigger brother, with only 16 mm across the fitting. As such, it will allow tube placement in places where a regular fitting would be too large or inconvenient. The accompanying fittings are from the Quantum Torque lineup with a pristine, shiny nickel finish. And making it all go is the miniature pump and reservoir FLT 80 combo unit. We hope you enjoyed the builds you've seen as much as the people behind them enjoyed creating them. EK has always been all about the builds, but this is not nearly all that EK has to offer. We strive to become and stay a brand that truly moves the needle and drives the industry forward. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell button, and register for our newsletter to stay in the loop with us. For those who want to check out our products, we encourage you to visit the EK webshop, follow us on social media, and visit our Shop the Loop page to explore our builds and get inspired to create your own.
Thank you, Anna, for helping us navigate through these powerful liquid-cooled builds. Another big thank you goes to our EK Nation for joining us on this EK Expo presentation. Did you feel that spark? Do you now feel why liquid cooling is critical to making top-performing computers? And do you already crave for more? A massive shout out to our partners and collaborators as well. Our market-altering products wouldn't be the same without you. Until next time, remember, we create to inspire, you build to amaze.